What's up, everybody? So y'all remember we spoke before about experiences and past experiences that other people have had, negative experiences that people have had by playing and exposing themselves to things that they shouldn't when it comes to spirits and Ouija boards and stuff like that. So we did touch base on Mike's niece who had a previous experience with the Ouija board. Before, she didn't want to talk to us about it, but today she has agreed to talk to us about her situation and what she experienced. So, all right. So this is Mike's niece, y'all. Introduce yourself.
My name is Lucinda.
And Miss Lucinda had, when she was, how old were you when you had this experience?
I don't remember exactly, but I do know the first time was I had to be like 8th or 9th grade. Yeah.
So she was just in school still. Mm-hmm. And where'd you get a Ouija board from?
Actually, we made it.
Y'all made it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this wasn't even a store, but I thought this was like a store-bought thing. Okay. So this was one of them hand-drawn ones that you wrote like the alphabet, or did you do the circle thing?
We did the alphabet. Mm-hmm. And then I remember the alphabet, yes and no and goodbye.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what did y'all do?
Well, I didn't know nothing about it at first. Mm-hmm. But another family member had told us about it because she said like a few of her family members on her dad's side had tried it, and they were talking about experiences they had. So we ended up making one. And out of cardboard.
Wow.
And we did not have the magnifying part. Mm-hmm. So what we did was we got a cup and we cut a circle in the middle, so it could be easier for us to read out the
so you made
letters.
One. I forgot what that little pendulum thing is called, but you made that to move around.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So you and your sister came home from school one day and y'all was like, let's try this? Or
no, the cousin ended up staying the night with us, and then we was like, she was telling us about it, then we just was like, let's try it. So I didn't believe it at first.
So what was it like? Y'all were moving the little pendulum thing around. I know it's like you ask a question, mm-hmm. and because I always thought people push it around on the board, like it's not actually moving by itself. Somebody's doing it.
I thought at first.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really, really thought that my cousin was pushing it at first. Mm-hmm. But because it was 3 of us that did it. So I just felt like it was her doing it because she knew more about it than me and my sister did. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I still didn't believe in it. She told us how to do it. Mm-hmm. We did say a prayer before. Mm-hmm. And then the first time we did it, I do remember having to go to goodbye to close it out, because supposedly she told us that if you don't do it that way, it leaves the portals open.
Right.
Yeah.
So y'all did it more than one time.
Yep.
Wow.
And coincidentally, when we got more serious in it, mm-hmm. we was living next to a graveyard.
Oh, wow.
So that's what sparked doing it again.
Wow.
And that was a mistake.
So the first time you did it, you didn't really experience anything except for it.
So the moving and asking questions. And we had to basically like put together what it was saying, because it went letter by letter.
Right.
And then when we were asked yes and no, it went to yes or no. And then when you like say like take it to goodbye, mm-hmm. and then it'll go to goodbye, then supposedly the portals are closed.
Right. When you guys moved mm-hmm. next to the cemetery and you tried to do it, what happened?
Well, when we started doing it, then stuff started happening around the house. Mm-hmm. And like for instance, like there was like crosses on each window. It looked like somebody took like lotion or something like white or something whitish, and like marked crosses all over the windows in the house. And
so it wasn't that you guys put a cross on the window, something made a mark of a cross on the window.
Yeah. for a while we thought it was somebody. My mom called the police and everything, because other stuff started happening that we was reporting, like somebody would like play with the doors. Like one time I was home by myself, and I had just got in for school, and I heard the front door knob shaking. So when I got to it, it wasn't moving or nothing, but then I would hear the back door doing it, because the way we had two front doors, you might as well say. One came into the living room, and then the other was in the front, but it came through the carport, which went straight into the kitchen. And then the back door was like right on the other side of the kitchen. So the door it was doing was the door in the kitchen, the front door from the kitchen way, the carport.
So something was moving.
Yeah, and I know it wasn't me, because I was there by myself. It wasn't none of my sisters neither, because they didn't get in for school yet.
Before you experienced this that last time when y'all had used it, did y'all do the goodbye or like you were supposed to?
Yeah,
close
each time. Yep. And I remember one time we had asked something. It's been so long ago. We had asked a question. Was it in the graveyard next to us or something like that? And it had said yes.
Oh wow.
Yep. And then one night, the sister that didn't play it, and that's when we knew, like, okay, this like got to be this thing playing tricks on us, because she had, well, we used to be leaving the house late at night sometimes. So we don't got in trouble for it.
Out.
Yeah. But the good intention sister would never do it. And then one night we got back, and all the lights and stuff was on in the house. And she said when she tried to get some sleep, it felt like something was tugging at her, tugging at the covers she was using, the blankets.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And she never played. And we had looked it up, and she even started looking up stuff about it too. You might want to ask her, because she looked up a few things about it too. What made her stop playing, because when she said that, through her doing her own research, we found out that those type of spirits attack the weakest mind.
Right.
So we just assumed she was the weakest. Yeah. But we my mama called the police a couple times. They were saying it was people playing tricks on us and all that kind of stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's scary. So after all that happened, then y'all just kind of stopped trying to veer away from doing it?
We prayed.
Right.
We prayed and prayed about it, because it was like a lot of like one time before, like even with the bathroom, one time I was coming out the bathroom, and I kid you not, it felt like somebody was pulling the other side to keep me from coming out.
Oh wow.
Yep.
So were you ever physically attacked or touched or anything like that?
No. It was just weird stuff like with the crosses, and the thing about the window part, this was the weird part about it. When we started noticing like the crosses and stuff on the window, and then about me reporting it to my mama and stuff like that, she had assumed that it was somebody we like was sneaking over there. Because we were like talking to boys at the age.
Right.
And she switched the rooms. She switched our rooms. She got our room, and she put us in her room. And then the crosses showed up on those windows too.
The rooms that you guys were in.
Yep.
But not the room she was in anymore.
No, it wasn't there at first. No.
Wow. So whatever it was attached to one of you guys, because y'all were using
I feel it was,
the board. That goes to show you, using tools like that, nothing good can happen out of it. I don't think. I don't like personally playing with Ouija boards and stuff like that, because I know there's a lot of negative stuff can get attached to you. So how long did y'all play with it? See, I thought it was a one and done type thing. I thought y'all played with it one time and something happened to where it spooked you.
No. The first time we all kind of took it like a joke, and we was like, it was one of our cousins doing it.
It drew your curiosity, right?
When we moved over by the graveyard, and these were two different cities. This one was in Palm Beach County, and it was the graveyard. I forgot the name of the street, and then it was a house, and then it was us. Yeah. So you know how it is. Yo, we live next to a graveyard. Let's see if we can reach somebody.
Right, right. But just because you close that door or say goodbye doesn't necessarily mean that that portal is shut, because it could still be open for other things.
During when my sister started researching, it said that stuff can leak out during that time and stuff, like taking it to goodbye. That don't mean nothing. During that time you plan, you don't know what's coming out of it, and also you don't know what spirits you talking to.
Right, because you may think you're speaking to whatever is answering you, but it's really not. It could be something like that.
Right.
Spirits are deceiving. Yeah. But out of that experience, though, what'd you learn?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't mess with stuff like that, because nothing good happens. Nothing good comes from it. I mean, the one good thing is that the crosses weren't upside down on your window.
No,
they weren't upside down crosses.
It looked exactly like somebody took something, like you know how when you like lotion, for instance, or when you put it on something and then it kind of, it's like a smear, but it's clear, but at the same time it's white enough for you to see it. That's how it was. It was what was used was like a whitish color, like it was dried white.
Now we have Gwen is here as well. I'm not putting you on camera. She don't want to be on camera. But we have Gwen over here. This is Lucinda's stepmother, and she's also an evangelist. But she was born with a veil. She was born with a veil over her face, so she has gifts as well. That she can see things, she dreams of things, she can predict things sometimes. But going back to what Lucinda had said about the crosses being on the window, because I know some people are going to comment and say some things, but it makes sense too what she has said, that the crosses, they weren't an upside down cross. When they were drawn, they were an actual cross, which meant something was trying to protect her.
We saw a shadow peek through the window, and then my mama was the first one that saw a shadow. But like I said, it wasn't enough to like give features to say who it was. So because she saw it the first time, and what she did, I'll never forget it. And this was at the start of everything with the door, the crosses and all that didn't come till afterwards. So with the door situation happening, and I told her about it, of course she was like, girl, you just crazy. And one night she woke me up and she said, Lucinda, I think there's somebody outside. What she did was, she said, I think they by the bathroom window, because I keep hearing something. So when she went to the front room, she got on the couch and she peeked out the window. And that's when she saw a figure there. And so she had said, let's act like we walking. We was like whispering like. So she was like, we're gonna act like we walking into the kitchen, but we gonna go out the back door so we could walk around to that side. But by the time we got there was nobody there. And then maybe like 2 weeks later is when me and the other sister saw somebody like standing at the window.
Did it look like a child or an adult? Like, were they tall or short?
It was like
just the average size.
We couldn't really see the because our windows was high. If it was somebody short, they either had to stand on something or jump.
You wouldn't have been able to see them.
So that was another reason why she got the police involved, and just was like, this somebody they were like, this somebody just
messing around with us.
But when we knew, when we got back home that night, it told us what she experienced. That's when it was like, something is really wrong, because like we keep experiencing, these things,
right,
or whatever.
I believe we have guardian angels. I believe that we have people that are always with us. Some people say, no, your family passed, they passed on. But I feel like we have some type of loved one, some ancestor, somebody that's with us all the time. So I feel like that person probably could have already been there with you guys. And that's probably what also was protecting you, because for you to say that the crosses that were being drawn, they were on the outside of the window. But you said there was somebody trying to get in. There was always a shadow on the outside of the house trying to look in. Somebody was trying to get in the door. And kind of like, it's silly to say, but it's kind of like a vampire. They always say don't invite a vampire into your house,
Right.
because you inviting that evil into your house. So I feel like that was the case. But like Gwen said, somebody or someone close to you was trying to protect you from something that was wanted to do negative or bring negative into your life.
Yeah, and that is true, because there are such thing as guardian angels.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you another experience with me when I first moved to Fort Myers, because I used to go see my mom, Fort Myers, during summertime after school. So school had ended, so I had to catch the Greyhound bus. All right, so while we was at the house and they had got my ticket, and then next thing you know, turn around, they was getting ready to take me to the bus station. We didn't leave the house yet. We turned on the TV. So when we turned the TV off, we head to the bus station. We was at the ticket window, getting my ticket, and the man said, "Oh, I'm sorry, you just left your bus that you were supposed to take." And I told him where I was going, and he said, "It just left." You know, just like that there. I said, "Oh man," you know. So my daddy said, "Well, we just gonna have to get you, take another bus." When we came home and turned on the TV, and they had a shocking news that the old Skyway had went down. It was a tugboat that hit it. And then I said, "Oh my God, Mama." She said, "Oh my God." She said, "That was the same bus that you were supposed to take." I'm getting chills right now. That was the same bus that I was supposed to take that day. That was scheduled. That was me to schedule to get on that bus. And we was just like trying to hurry up to get to the bus station. Something was stopping us. If I would have got on that bus, I would not be here right now.
Exactly.
I would not be right.
Everything
happens for a reason.
Yes, plan. God has a plan for everybody. So I feel everything happens for a reason.
And I am so, you know, I just get chills when I think about that now. And I kept telling myself, I would have been on that bus. You know, that's like I'm a living testimony, you know, because it would have been, if I would have got my ticket and would have waved down the bus, I wouldn't be here right now. A lot of people experience stuff, you know, when they do experience something, say, "Oh man, I'm just going crazy. I'm just seeing something I ain't got no business seeing, you know. I'm just listening to something that I ain't got no business."
We get a lot of it from just being black and dealing with spirits. Like, we don't speak about it a lot in our culture because it's something that's like taboo. Like, you don't talk about stuff. Don't be playing with stuff like that. It's true. It happens. There's spirits around us, good and bad. I don't believe that all spirits walking around us are bad, negative spirits. Some people feel that they're all demons. If that was the case, I mean, the world ain't the best place, but I think the world would be way worse than what it was if the world was full of demons walking around.
Yeah.
So
that is true, because look what you got. You got killers, you got murders, you got rapists, you got molesters.
Yeah.
You got all of that. You know, but it has to be when it starts like that, it has to be some kind of spirit gonna jump. And when it jump, it'll just say, "Oh, do it." You know, for instance, like an example, this man right here, you know, and then they say, you know, something jump on him, and then it'll say, "Go ahead, jump in the water." You know, there's nothing gonna bother you. Just go ahead and jump. You know, it's a lot of things that be going on in life. You know, why you don't know, you truly really don't know. You know, I heard somebody on the news, this woman, you know, she saw the total eclipse, and next thing you know, somewhere in California, something like, next thing you know, I think she stabbed her husband because she was young and everything, and she believed in a total eclipse.
Oh, this happened for real?
That's the confusing part about mental health, because I work in that field.
Right.
And you do got some patients that that do that.
Yes.
And so when you have like,
it makes you question, is it them?
Is it them, or is it really something else? Because, you know, what gonna tell you to take your kids, drive with them,
and hurt them,
throw them out the car?
And then the next minute you
And then
like,
next minute,
I don't know what
and
happened.
then this what gets me with this. And then the next minute, you run into a tree and kill yourself. They're all around. Good, bad, they're all around. This is the truth. Me and my husband been staying with my mom for about 6 months. And I was off that day. We came around it at night. Me and my husband was in the room talking, you know, la-da-da-da, talking about this, talking about that. And then all of a sudden my mom knocked on the door and she told me that my little brother wanted me. I told my mom, I said, nah, he'll be all right. She said, but he wants you to come. I said, oh, okay, all right, I'm here. I'm here. So I went outside and me and him had talked. And he said, how you doing? I said, okay, good. I'm doing fine. As God is my witness, this was not my little brother who I was talking to. This was somebody that I had recognized. And he told me point blank, he said, sis, I need help. I need help, sis. I need help. You gotta help me. Please, please help me. Please help me. And I kept telling him, what do you want me to do? And he said, I need help. Please help me. They're in my head. They're in my head. Come on now. And he kept hitting his head so many times. My mom was standing there. And I, quote or unquote, I told my mom, I said, Mom, I said, you need to leave. Go in the house and get my husband. And I told her, I said, when you get my husband, make sure he bring his Bible. So she went and she got him. And I made sure that my mom didn't come out that door. And she did not come out that door. Because I knew and I recognized exactly what I was going against. So he kept telling me, he said, sis, please help me. He kept hugging me and hugging me. He said, sis, please, please help me. They bother me and they bother me. And I'm saying, who's bothering you? But then my dad had passed, which is his uncle. My grandma has passed, which was his grandma, which was my dad's mama. And then so he said, he was calling his name, and his mom had passed also. She passed it last year. And he called everybody's name. And I told him, I said, well, he said, they telling me to do something, you know, just like that. I said, do what? His eyes was fiery red. And he said, sis, they telling me to do something. Get him out my head. Please, please get him out my head, please. And I told myself, okay, I see what this is. So I asked him, I said, well, who is in your head? And it was, his name was Lucas. All right, so I said, well, Lucas. I said, who's Lucas? He said, he told me, he said that Lucas told him to come see me so you can destroy me, which is me, destroy me. And I said, oh, okay, I know exactly who I'm fighting against. I said, oh, so in other words, you're giving me a fake name, but I recognize exactly who you are. My husband, he came out and he looked at me and I looked at him and I did what I had to do. My little cousin was possessed by a demon. And this demon that he was possessed by wanted to harm me. Because he told the truth what he wanted to do. His voice had changed. His voice wasn't the same. All right, when his voice wasn't the same, I told my husband, I said, oh my God, I know exactly what I need to do. So I asked him point blank. And I told him, I said, listen. And I looked him in his eyes and I said, what do you want? And he told me, he said he won't destroy me because he knew who I was. He recognizes who I was. So I said, okay, since that's what you want to do, we finna play. So when I played, it was like a tug because he kept hugging me. He kept saying, sis, please, please help me, please. Come on, sis, you gotta help me, you gotta help me, you gotta help me. he was trying to get into him to destroy him, for which he was already in him, but he really wanted to destroy me. So he kept going off and on. He kept clicking into himself, and then Lucy clicked back. He kept clicking and clicking back. So me and my husband got the Bible, and I prayed and everything, and I asked him, I said, what do you want? And he told him, he said, I don't believe in that.
Meaning the Bible.
In the Bible. And he told him, and I asked him, I said, well, why you don't believe in it? There's no such thing as that.
I remember that. I was on the phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes.
I hung up.
Wow.
There's no such thing as that. And so my husband said, touch it. No, I don't want to touch it because I'm going to burn.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And I told my husband, I said, babe, let's do what we got to do.
Right.
Did it, and we prayed over him. It slipped and switched. My mom would still been there. He would have jumped on her. Then it would have been tug of war. Then it would have been a battle. And then
So
it's
why do you
like
think it would have switched on to your mom? Because was she weak mentally?
she was weak, but mainly she was scared. That's why I did the right thing by letting her stay in the house. I told her to stay in the house and don't come out the door.
Right.
Because if she would have came out, she would have been so scared it would have jumped.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
he said Lucas told him to come over there.
yes, to
And then
destroy
when he
me.
went to time out, it burns, and he kind of stood up to you, didn't it?
Yes, he did.
I hung up the phone.
He
after
completely stood up to me. He completely stood up to me and looked me in my eyes. And I looked him back in his eyes so clearly that I told him, I said, well, you want to play this game? I will play this game with you. I prayed, we prayed. I put hands on him and everything. I was not scared of what I saw because I saw the figure that I saw. I did not see my little brother. I saw him because he revealed himself to me. So in other words, he came out and revealed himself to me when I looked. He did like this. I jumped for a little while, and then I told myself, no, I'm not finna jump.
Right.
I'm not scared of you.
Right.
And then so I told him, I said, I'm stronger than you think I am. And I said, if you want to come destroy me, you know, we're going to have a fight. So we had that fight. That night, he changed. He came back because wherever he went and whatever he did, he knew that it was something that he was not supposed to touch. But this is the wrong person. So it left. And my little brother came to himself. And when he came to himself, he said, that's it. He said, I want to be saved. And at that point in time, that night, he put his hand on the Bible and got on his knees and cried and told God that he wanted to be saved. Now, everybody could be like this here, oh, I didn't believe that. I don't believe that story, but it's so true.
It's true.
It is totally true. It's like this here. You got to recognize who this person is. Because it will reveal its name and it revealed itself
He sure
also.
did. He said Lucas told him to come over there, and when they started praying for him, I heard him saying that ain't true, and he was like laughing with it. And then I forgot what he said, but it was kind of like, it sounded like he was like kind of standing up. And then when he went to talking about it burns and all that, I was like,
You're like, I'm done.
yeah,
Let me get off this phone.
I ain't trying to open up them doors again.
I rebuke this. This ain't coming on me.
Yeah.
That's interesting because it's not always going back to mental health. It's not always what we think it is. It could be something more deeper than that. So
Yeah, it's much, much deeper than that, you know.
like they say, pick up a Bible, start praying. Start praying, help that person.
Yeah, help that person.
That Ouija board. We
That's
pray
because
like it was nothing, and we promised God we would never ever
touch
do it
it.
again.
See?
And we didn't talk about it no more. I'm probably the only one that talk about it, and the only reason why I opened up because of my grandma had mentioned a few things, and then I was like, oh, she felt what I felt then, and so that's how I ended up talking about it.
What did your grandma say she did?
Well, I went to visit her one time, Tyrone mom, and it was just the topic of what she experienced with ghosts and stuff like. And then that's when I had
okay, so this is Mike's mom. She's talking about Minnie. He said she was really into like spirits and ghosts and all that.
Yeah,
so
she was. I can't remember the topic because it was so long ago, but I remember when I got over there, they was already talking about it, and then that's when I had shared my experience, because now I didn't feel like I'm talking to somebody that's just looking like, girl, you need an evaluation. So I still don't really talk about it, but if somebody like share their experience, then I'd be like, oh, something like that happened to me or whatever. But thank God we didn't get that deep into it,
right?
Because we already knew who God was, and we kind of recognized like something wasn't right. And after that, I didn't have many experiences after that. And if I did, believe me, I wasn't paying no attention.
You ain't entertain it.
No.
Right.
But see, and another thing is this, and listen to me good. Gotta be careful who or what person that comes into your house.
Yeah.
Because you never know what kind of ground that person is walking on.
Yeah.
That person could be walking on an evil ground. That spirit can enter into your house.
Right.
And it'll leave it there. And then that's when it causes confusion. But you got to be careful about who comes in your house.
Yeah, I read up on that when bad spirits be in your house. They said that, from what I read, bugs like fruit flies, a smell lingers, and your spirit is rustled up. And so I had read up on it because I felt like I felt it like it's some negative energy somewhere.
Right.
And then when I started seeing like other signs, and I was like, oh, I knew I wasn't crazy. Like, and when this person would come around, I got no sleep. And when I tell you I got no sleep, I would literally be like falling asleep right now. And it was bad, especially at night. Nighttime was the worstest for me. And at first I thought I was like, maybe I got sleep apnea.
Right.
Because, at that time I was much bigger. But whenever I would go somewhere else to sleep, I slept peaceful. Yeah. And then I was like, no, something got to be going on. And then I started noticing the fruit flies and all that stuff. And that's when I had seen about the negative energy in your house. Is when I was trying to look up how to get rid of the fruit flies. And then when I started reading, I was like, you know what? It is like an awkward smell in here. And I'm going to kid you not. I kid you not. When this person left and went somewhere for a few days,
it would go away.
Yeah, the fruit flies was dying down. And the smell was like
Perfume?
No, it was like musky. Like a, not really like a old attic, but like a, I don't know how to explain it. It was like a certain smell. And I ain't never been in a home that had issues with fruit flies before.
Right.
And we couldn't like tell where they were coming from or nothing. And one thing said that they come from drains and stuff like that.
Right.
But when I read that about the negative spirits and bad energy and stuff in the house, I'm like, come on now, that's too much. And how my spirit was rustled up. And this how I knew I wasn't crazy. A spiritual person was around this person, and she ended up coming back, and she said something ain't right with this person. Because she got sick.
Oh wow.
Yep.
You just got to be careful. You got to be prepared. You got to be mentally strong.
You got to be mentally strong.
You got
to be careful.
You got to have faith in God, and you got to pick up your Bible and read and get this stuff off of you, because that's the only thing that really helps you.
Yeah, we prayed about it.
Praying about it. Everybody that I've talked to that have had experiences like that has prayed about it, and those usually diminish. So thank y'all ladies for talking to me today, even though Gwen didn't want to be on camera. Thank y'all for talking to me.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Thank you too. So here's Mike making his debut. He's too late now.
I know.
Too late.
I didn't even know y'all was over here. I was looking for y'all.